pass it on. The next panel, going to pass it on to my other partner in crime who helped put this whole event together, Maya Rupert. And she's going to be moderating the next panel on issues and barriers for the different LGBT elder housing models and discuss policy recommendations for consideration for future policy. All right, Maya.
Hi, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming today and for lasting through the day. We are our last panel, yay. Yeah. No, I mean, it's obviously it's been a great day, and I think there's just been a lot of information, but, and hopefully that's gonna, I believe that is going to continue with this final panel. We have 3 fantastic people who are going to each be talking about a different LGBT housing model, and then we're going to sort of compare and contrast and just talk about, you know, the challenges, the benefits of each of these different models, with the idea that, you know, everybody here who wants to can sort of, you know, take recommendations back to advocate for particular models or to, you know, use the experiences that everyone's going to talk about here to sort of inform the thinking and the work that you're all doing back home. So I'm going to hand it over to the panel. Everyone's going to do just sort of a brief overview of the type of work they're doing, the type of model that they're talking about, and then we're going to do it a little bit differently with this panel. We're going to start with a moderated discussion. I'm going to ask some kind of discussion questions to get the ball rolling. People are going to sort of, you know, have the opportunity to kind of compare their different experiences. Then we'll open it up for, you know, whatever questions people have. So I have Mark Siegel, Joy Silver, and Catherine Thurston here. They are going to sort of in turn each just give an overview of the kind of work they're doing. So thank you so much. Please.
You are all so lucky you get me a second time. Okay, I need to wake you up. It's the end of the day. How many lesbians are there here today? How many gay men? How many straight allies? You notice how you guys are in the minority for the first time? Okay, but that's a good thing because here we are at HUD, and this is one of the first time that in a meeting, LGBT people are in the majority. And that's an important thing because first off, we want to thank HUD. I personally want to really thank HUD because HUD stepped up with the information to help get our project underway. Not only did they step up with it, they told our city and our state, if you go with this project, we'll assure you that we'll step up with the funding. And they have. So I want to particularly thank Sean Donovan, Raphael Bostic, Estelle Richmond for really stepping up to the plate and helping us in every way, shape, or form to get this project done. Now, you know why else you're going to get a second treat from me? Because I don't know if you noticed that, but in that first workshop I did, that was the first PowerPoint I ever did. How did I do? Was I okay? Well, guess what? We're going to try it again. So here we go. This is put together by Micah Majubian, one of our people who works on this. The long way to William Way Senior Residences. Yeah. I think this is not ours. No. I'm doing great even though this is not our presentation. Can you guys help out a little here? Thanks. That's not ours. We're getting there. Well, in the meantime, what I can tell you, okay, here we go. There we go. That's the first one. We just push the forward button. That's what, but not yet. We gotta get it back again. Okay. Not yet. She's almost there. I'm getting some great slides here, by the way. I think you got it. Over, is that one? Which is the forward button? Okay. Nah. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, we have 2 partners. DMH Fund, which you've heard a great deal about. Most important thing to know about DHM Fund is that we are a group of LGBT and allied activists. None of us, zero, none of us, from me down to the treasurer, whatever the organization, gets a salary. We're doing this because we believe in it. All of us have, as they say, a day job. My day job, for those of you who don't know, I'm the publisher of the Philadelphia Gay News, which has been around for 35 years and is the oldest continuous weekly published newspaper for the LGBT community in the nation. Penrose Development is the largest developer of senior properties in Pennsylvania and also New Jersey. As I said earlier, 11,000 units. Now, why this is important is normally when you do a project like this, they would do all the work. They would guarantee buying the property. Your development partner would guarantee doing all the political work. In our case, we decided on where the property was going to be. We did the negotiations for the most part on purchasing the property, which in our case is a very valuable piece of property in the neighborhood. The organization was founded in 2004. But before 2004, most of us were part of an organization called CARE Consortium. CARE Consortium started in 1997 with the specific role of helping LGBT seniors. Yeah, I was getting old at the time. So I decided something needed to be done in that area. CARE Consortium got its first funding from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in 1998. And in 1999, that $20,000 grant did a study, what we believe is the first in the nation, a regional study of LGBT seniors in one regional area. And what we discovered from that survey was that the #1 issue for LGBT seniors was housing. Lo and behold, that's what founded DMH Fund. But DMH Fund also had a number of other things that it was going to do. We were going to try to do HIV education. We were going to fight prejudice where we could, deliver services to youth, seniors, and diverse constituencies. And in that regard, and in a very strange twist of fate, which our organization seems to have lots of, in 2005, the city and a major entertainer came to us and asked us to do something. Now, Philadelphia is known for one date in particular. Can anyone tell me what that date is? What is it? Someone said it over there. Correct. July 4th, 1776. So the most important day in Philadelphia is, as everyone can imagine, July 4th. On July 4th in Philadelphia, every single year is Philadelphia's largest concert. It is done, if you've been to Philadelphia, on our Parkway from the steps of the Philadelphia Art Museum. In 2005, the city of Philadelphia came to us because we had access to a guy by the name of Sir Elton John. And they came to us and said, well, how would you like to dedicate July 4th, 2005 in Philadelphia to AIDS awareness? Pretty big, pretty exciting. So we took on the challenge. That was probably the craziest thing we ever did and the best thing we ever did. Because what it did was, it got us a $3.4 million budget from the state and city to put on this giant concert for 500,000 people with Elton John, Patti LaBelle, Philadelphia Freedom Band, you name it. A parade. We ran the police department, fire department. Basically, every single element of state and city government learned that we can operate and play nice with city and state departments. That opened the door to this project. We said, if we could do that, if we can run your city for a day, we can build a senior center. So that was what that did for us more than anything else. So originally, we got a grant for $500,000 after that concert to start work on this and to seed our community to get us to that point. First thing we did with that was take our community center and try to do an allocation of what services it can do for seniors and youth. Now that has developed over the last few years into the fact that our community center, which is William Way Community Center, and separate from DMH Fund, totally a separate organization, they are now doing senior services. They do aerobics, they do trips to theaters, they do cooking classes, they do every type of community service for seniors you can imagine, day and night, every single day. On the other hand, we also were able to give a grant to the Mazzoni Law Center. They're doing senior law practices. We also gave another grant to Larry. What was the organization so we could create the Elder Initiative? Which stands for? Yeah, this is a Philadelphia organization which fights for the elderly, for all elderly. We asked them to put together a panel of every single major provider of senior services in Philadelphia. Therefore, we now had a panel existing of all the senior providers in the 5-county area of Philadelphia supporting our project. So, as you can see, what we've done with this money is reach out to every provider in our community, every provider in the senior community. So therefore, we have our barrier, which was getting the city over on our side, was already won over. Next came the political end, and we came here to HUD, which luckily gave us the wherefore to maneuver and learn what the federal budgetary systems were like. And in that regard, we were lucky enough to have Senator Casey on our side, and it was Senator Arlen Specter, as a Republican, who got me into a car with Secretary Donovan for 20 minutes to, by himself, Secretary Donovan of HUD, to go over this project. I think he'd been HUD Secretary for 30 days, and he had to get in the car with me for 20 minutes. I have 2 more minutes? I have 2 more minutes. And with that, just very simple. The first barrier was community, get them on your side. Senior services, get them on your side. Then go to the government end and say, look, we have everybody else on our side. It's time you get on our side and you provide the dollars. Because the LGBT community, we pay taxes. Why shouldn't the most needy in our community not get the funding from those taxes like other communities do? That's the barrier we need to break down, and we can do it. Was that a good 2 minutes?
Okay, next up we have Joy Silver.
Thank you. Hi, thank you. I'm Joy Silver. I'm the CEO and president of Rainbow Vision Properties, Inc., and I'm also a principal in a new company I'm developing called Ardent Senior Living. And one of the things I wanted to put out there is that senior living and the term senior living encompasses everything from what used to be called active adult. I don't even know if they're using that anymore because golf communities also were part of active adult, to independent living, assisted living, memory care, CCRC modality, life care communities, nursing home, all of that kind of senior housing and care, or senior care and residential services, are now called senior living. So if you're in this business, you're also in what's called the senior living world, in the senior living business. And I think that's critically important to talk about. It's not simply about housing. In 1997, I had a company called Herland Development, and at that time, I started in Palm Springs with a different set of partners, and was going to buy an apartment building and convert it into basically independent living apartments for seniors. When that particular backer fell through, it was a very small project. In 1998, we became Rainbow Vision, and Rainbow Vision's idea initially was in New Mexico now, was to go right into levels of care because that's where the future was. And the idea was that we would be set up for the future, and that in the assisted living design element, we also designed it so that when memory care became upfront, which it is at this point, that those units could also be retrofitted into memory care units. At that point, we had 50 projects out on the table for Rainbow Vision alone, and another 50 into consideration. Every state, every city, including New York, Atlanta, Seattle, Portland, Chicago, you name the city. Fort Lauderdale almost got out of the ground also. Palm Springs people, all the people who came to us and wanted us to build Rainbow Vision in their town and city, including Germany, South Africa, and 3 different groups in Brighton, England. So this just went like wildfire around the world, and whether Rainbow Vision was going to own it, manage it, license the brand name, be affiliated. None of that mattered to us because we knew, and this is the critical piece of what I'm sharing, there's safety in numbers. If I had to say anything, the chorus of my song that I'm singing today is called Safety in Numbers, because this is the critical piece of being able to survive and become successful as we go through what the future might look like for us. Even today, as we look at some of the projects that are already coming or trying to come out of the ground, and remember, when Rainbow Vision first began its effort to move forward, it wasn't for-profit, it wasn't not-for-profit, it had no financial vehicle at that time. The only reason that Rainbow Vision became for-profit is because the project could get done quicker. There was no other reason. It was simply a decision to use that financing vehicle because it seemed like at that point there was a lot of money around. Now this is before the challenges in the economy, or what I affectionately call before the fall of the Roman Empire. Some of the financing challenges for developing senior living communities, and I'm not going to go too much into these subjects, but they're the things that are barriers to financing for developing communities are weaker liquidity, higher capital cost, and of course the real estate stress. And many, many organizations in the country who are in the senior living business have a lot of problems on the real estate stress. Basically, it means they're upside down on their big mortgage, and some of those mortgages can go up to $100 million. So there's some big mortgages there. Palm Springs in 2007, we were able to get all our entitlements there, and then there were no construction loans, and Prudential, who was going to be the equity investor at the tune of $30 million, decided they were drying up the well. And so we weren't able to get out of there in that year. But who knew that the mortgage crisis was what it was? Until August of 2007, we didn't know that. And by 2008, the whole world fell apart. The three major financial challenges facing our population, the challenge is the declining home value, the difficulty selling homes, and severe reductions in the value of retirement investment portfolios. So affordability, there's a difference. I want to make a distinction between low cost and affordability. I don't think there's anybody who isn't looking for something affordable, no matter what economic class they're in, whether they're in what used to, all along the grades of the economy, there are a lot of differences now than were before 2008. The results of the challenge are that adults decided to remain home longer than planned. When the pro formas or the budgets were established, and in the national senior living world, independent living, the percentage of independent living was big. It was the largest percentage, usually at like maybe 40 to 50% of the community was independent living. And people expected that assisted living would be the smaller percentage, and nobody was even really talking about memory care back in, even as late as 2002, 2004. Now in the industry, there's been a reversal. Assisted living is now the largest percentage of what becomes available when somebody's looking to either retrofit or renovate their existing properties. And independent living serves a smaller percentage because people are staying at home longer. And when they show up to the community, they're much, much more challenged because it's become needs-based rather than wants-based. No more active adult, no more condominiums, that's all gone. Another challenge, and these are some of the issues I want to bring to the table: perceptions of aging, expectations, and entitlement. On the perceptions of aging, there's some sort of an idea that there's going to be, and this is to you, Richard, a record moment when somebody is like young and then one day they wake up and they're old. And that aging will be catastrophically noticeable rather than incremental. But what happens is, especially what I've seen in the active adult and oftentimes in independent living, people don't know how challenged they've become. And yet, they're still operating from their own minds that everything is fine, and you're the person who's the problem, not them. And there are certain behaviors that begin to be presented, and it becomes an issue because then paranoia sets in, and so these are some of the issues that people in senior living understand can happen at any point. But this is critically important if you've already been operating active adult residences, because a lot of people in active adult are critically challenged and are still in charge of their own care. And they're also activists sometimes. Expectations that care will be manageable. One of the things about managing care is that some people figure that they're in a peer group and they're going to help each other. I'm sure you've all heard this. We're going to help each other when we get old, and that we won't have to worry about, anybody taking care of anybody, because we're going to have community, which Sheila Moore told us that even though GLBT is 90% of our community, they don't think they're in one. There isn't a community. But it's not like having a cold. I'm going to bring some chicken soup. You'll recover from aging. It'll be fine. It isn't. It doesn't work. It becomes 24/7 care, and that's a real critical piece. And then finally, entitlement. And entitlement is a political construct. And the issue there becomes when an oppressed people has to measure progress, sometimes it's measured against the standard of perfection or perfect choice versus gauging against what has taken place. So while things have actually occurred, it doesn't live up to the ideal. And sometimes that ideal is, when I get this, then I'm going to have a perfect life and everyone's going to love me. And when I go there, some magical quality is going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, it's your fault. To measure the success, and I want to give a couple of points about how Rainbow Vision and other people in senior living go about deciding what they're going to do to create their business or their community. Analyze the demographics. Is there enough of a population that can that wants what the services are, or what does that particular population want? Study what has already been done. This is something that I want to repeat. This whole project of GLBT, senior living, and senior housing, there is an enormous history that goes back 20 or 30 years on this subject. Not to look at the things that happened and find out what the challenges were is us reinventing the wheel, and it ensures that the same mistakes can be made again. Go to the... Oh, yeah, I'm going to try it. Go to the companies providing the service, analyze the financing mechanism, and team with others to accomplish similar goals and form a working entity, which brings me to the end of my discussion. And that is, in order to keep cost as low as possible, and I think the larger question is, how do we keep the costs of providing assisted living and levels of care down? And I propose that an operating company is created, and that's what I'm doing. I'm creating Ardent Senior Living so that we can all take a part of, with a nonprofit purchasing arm, so that we can take advantage of safety in numbers. The more units you build, the more people you hire, the more food you buy, the more services you need. Numbers are what keep down costs. So that's what I have to say.
Thank you. And, oh, please. And finally, Catherine.
Hi, I'm very honored to be the absolute final speaker of the day, and I promise not to bore you too much. How many people here actually know what NORC stands for? All right, well, most of you do, but not all of you, so that's good. So a NORC stands for a naturally occurring retirement community, and the concept is only about 30 years old. And I was actually thinking about Regina earlier when she talked about moving to Boca. So if Regina and all of her friends had moved to Boca 25 years ago and were still living there, their building would now be a NORC. So it's not a building that was constructed to be a building for older people, but as a result of people moving in around the same time, at the same age, it has become a retirement community. The first retirement community actually was founded in 1986 in New York City. It's actually very close to Sage's offices. It's a complex called Penn South, which is a post-war building. And after the war, when it was built, baby boomers moved in with their kids, and all of a sudden, 35, 40 years later, you had a bunch of 60, 70, 80-year-olds living in Penn South, all of whom were rushing out the doors for services when the state came up with the really great idea that rather than have 400 people going out into the world for services, let's bring services into the building. And thus the first NORC was born. And New York State actually first passed legislation to create public funding to support NORCs in 1995. So the original NORC, like I just mentioned about Penn South, were what they called vertical NORCs. They were high-rise buildings built around the same time. People around the same age moved in. Everybody got old. There's your retirement community. After a while, people started to say, hey, wait a minute. I live in a neighborhood where everybody moved in after the war, too, but we live in single-family or two-family homes. And we're aging, and we need help. And actually, we are having even more difficulty because we may be in a suburban community, and we don't have services right outside our door. Can we be a NORC? Okay, so that became the neighborhood NORC model, which happened about, I would say, 10 years after the original vertical model. Well, you know, in the LGBT community, we talked about this morning, and actually this was Regina's point to my boss, Michael Adams, we should take a look at the models that work and we should explode them. So in 2004, SAGE decided to explode the model of what a NORC could be, and we created our own terminology, which is a neighborhood NORC of affinity. And we chose the Harlem neighborhood in New York City, which is a predominantly African-American neighborhood. And we chose it because we had been hearing from the LGBT older adults in Harlem that they wanted services in their own neighborhood. They did not want to come down to our offices, which at the time were in the West Village in New York City, a predominantly white, more affluent neighborhood. They wanted it in their neighborhood. They wanted it to be culturally competent, and they didn't want to have to go anywhere for it. And they felt that after living their whole lives in Harlem, they deserved it. We felt the same way, so we created this model which provided, and I'll talk in a second about what the foundational NORC services are. We created a model that would provide those foundational services and not make people have to leave their neighborhood. And we were able to get private funding to launch that program in 2004. And you know how they say, if you build it, they will come? Well, that didn't happen. We built it, and nobody came. And you know, people have talked a lot today about the idea of perseverance and the idea of patience and the idea of you cannot create a program for people whose needs you don't know. And Regina, what you said really resonated with me earlier. I don't want to go to a program either that's not designed by me. Because what's the point of that? And I think we did our very best to try and gauge what the interests were of the community, but we missed the mark, not on all the levels, but on some of them. And we really had to sit down and listen to the neighborhood and listen to the community in order to find out things like hanging a rainbow flag outside of our office building. We actually had rented office space in another nonprofit, was just basically a way to keep people away. We also learned that for many of our constituents in Harlem, they identify as gay or lesbian, bi or trans, kind of number 4 or 5 in terms of the way they self-identify. They might identify first as a grandmother, and then as somebody who goes to that, you know, a part of this parish. And so the way we messaged our programs was different. And we also recognized that we had to prove ourselves, that we could not just show up there and expect people to come in droves to our programs, that people wanted to see, is SAGE really going to stick around? Are they going to be here in a year? And are they going to come to my church? And are they going to come back again? And so it took a while for the program to be up and running. We had a very patient funder, but a funder who believed very strongly in seed funding and then in allowing their grantees to achieve sustainability without them. So after the first few years, we lost that original funding, and we really had to put our money where our mouth was. If we wanted the program to continue, we needed to basically bankroll it ourselves, which we were able to do for the next few years. And I think it was the program started in 2004. And it was really around 2007 that it started to hit its stride. Again, I wanted to talk a little bit about the 3 foundational areas of NORCs. There's social services, there are educational and recreational programs, and then there are health programs. And that in a typical NORC, in a traditional NORC, are what serves as the program array. We have certainly established a social service program that's pretty robust. We have case management, we have counseling and support groups, and we have HIV prevention programs in our Harlem office. And we also have a lot of recreational and community building programs. We have had more difficulty in achieving a good health program. And I think that's part of the issue with being the new kid on the block. We want to make sure that whatever nursing affiliation or whatever home care affiliation we make is one that is LGBT affirming. And we don't want to just reach out to the nearest or the largest partner. So it's taken us a while to kind of find a good healthcare partnership. But we also learned that it has to be located in the geographic neighborhood. You cannot have folks who live in Harlem come down to Chelsea for medical services. They will not. They don't feel that that they need to. But at the same time, their local healthcare delivery may not be LGBT culturally competent. So providing trainings to again, a lot of what has already been said here, providing cultural competency trainings to partners, collaborating with people in the neighborhood, collaborating with faith-based communities, which is especially important in Harlem, has been, I think, the core of the success of the program. I should also say that we are one of the largest NORCs in the NORC universe, because SAGE's catchment area is, for those of you who are familiar with New York, it's 100th Street to 155th Street, river to river. So it's gigantic. When most NORCs are basically half an acre. And also, one would argue, if you are from New York, that 100th Street is not necessarily Harlem, but we wanted to make it very inclusive. We also recognize that folks who live on 100th Street aren't going to come down to 14th Street either, so that we wanted to, be as open as we could be in our definition. Another big part of our work in Harlem is to create visibility for LGBT older people. And sometimes that means sitting on councils. It has meant for the last 2 years that SAGE has been the lead sponsor for Harlem Pride. 2010 was Harlem's first Pride event ever. It was historic and very well attended. Last year was even better. And Tom Weber, who's SAGE's Director of Community Services, and he's actually responsible for the NORC program, told me with tears in his eyes that someone came up to him at the Pride event this year and said, "I've been living in Harlem all my life. I never thought I would see a Pride event in my community." And that's for us extremely gratifying because, again, it hasn't always been easy. And the last thing I want to say, because I've been avoiding Maya in case she's making eyes at me,
I'm actually not. You're doing great.
Okay.
You're doing well.
This has actually really been a successful project for us in that we were able to go back to our pioneering funder, the Samuels Foundation, 2 years ago and say, look, we stuck it out. We have made a sustainable program. We're very proud of it. We have hundreds of people coming to our larger events. We would like to do the same thing in East Harlem. Now, East Harlem lies right to the east, obviously, of Harlem. It is a completely different community. It is a Latino community. It is Puerto Rican and Dominican, Ecuadorian. People are primarily Spanish, sometimes non-English speaking. So it requires a totally different set of cultural competencies, a totally different staff, and a totally different approach. But we very much felt when we were in Harlem that people in East Harlem who identified as LGBT were being lost in our service array. And the funder agreed. And so now we have we're in our second year, a very successful program in East Harlem that is very different. The program's often operating kind of parallel tracks, but we also do things together, which is really gratifying. And so, again, this is an idea of taking a model that's out there, a model that's kind of traditional, exploding it for the LGBT community. I think this is a model that could well be replicated in suburban communities, in rural communities, and part of what we've done at SAGE is to create a kind of a template and a curriculum for those people who are interested in launching NORC programs. But if I would have a lessons learned, it is that this took a while, and it took a really, I think, an innovative funder, as well as our mission being strong enough that we would support it on our own if we needed to in leaner times.
Okay, so like I said, I'm just going to sort of start off by asking some kind of discussion questions to get everybody talking a little bit more detail. And Catherine, I really want to sort of pick up on a theme that you were sort of talking about and something that's been touched on by a number of the people who've been speaking today. And that is that there are members of the LGBT elder community, elders of color, transgender elders, undocumented elders, who have specific needs and who've also reported feeling isolated even within LGBT elder settings. And so I'd really love to get more feedback from you, specifically what you all did around the reaching out to faith-based communities piece, because I think that's really important, but also both Mark and Joy as well, what you all have done to try and try and do outreach to these communities and to make the spaces that you've created more inclusive and make sure that everybody feels comfortable.
Sure, I'd be happy to start. So as I said, particularly in regard to the NORC program, there needs to be a recognition that, and we talked about, a few people have talked about this today, of the intersectionalities of the communities. I mean, cookie cutter programs will benefit no one. They will not benefit your agency. They won't benefit your constituents. You have to listen to the people whose attendance you want in your programs. And that's everything from, the type of program that you design, to the staff that you hire, to the kind of outreach materials that you create. But it really is about being present and being present in different communities. Otherwise, again, you won't be successful, and you'll have not only will you have a lack of participation, but I think it will speak to your reputation in the communities. So for us, it's really been a matter of listening, of going out into different communities and asking people what they want. Again, the faith-based communities was something that SAGE has been even before the NORC. We had before I came to SAGE in 2003 a Robert Wood Johnson grant to develop a collaborative of faith-based communities in New York City, which was a very successful collaboration. And we recognize that again, it's not just going once; it's the repetitive presence, and it's this building of trust, which takes time, so that the various communities know that you really are serious, that you have an interest, and that you're not going to go anywhere.
From the Rainbow Vision perspective, because the community in Santa Fe was located in New Mexico, the hiring process is what helped bring people together, and it's basically Hispanic, Native American, and everything else there is considered Anglo, no matter what your spiritual or your religious background is. And so and this is a very important thing. It isn't really an us and them. I mean, we are the aging population, and so therefore many of the people who were part of the staff reflect people who moved in different levels of challenge. In places like Palm Springs, and also when we were working on the Houston project, and also in Vancouver, Canada, core groups came to us already assembled. And so whatever that core group reflected was the baseline for adding in different groupings, and that was kind of up to them and not really up to us.
When you talk about low-income housing, people in the general population get a certain image. And that image is the first obstacle or barrier that we had. And you two addressed that very well. The two people in our community started spreading a line. And this is typical that you're all going to hear if you go in for low income. They said, quote unquote, "Oh, the building will be full of drug addicts, prostitutes, and drag queens." Well, my response to that is if you take HUD funding, anybody who is convicted of drugs or anything else is out of there by law. I've never heard of a 65-year-old prostitute, but your drag queens and trans people, we want them. Please, bring them over. They belong in our home. It's a rainbow home. We want people. To that end, we've gotten involved with MCC in Philadelphia, which is primarily an African-American church LGBT organization, and they're going to be involved in helping us steer people our way. Also, through our discovery and outreach with community organizations in our community, I've been involved in my community for over 35 years. I discovered, unbeknownst to me, an underground organization of African-American seniors who get together once a month for a social. I didn't even know it existed. We've tapped into that group. The one area that we have not tapped into as of yet, and I promise you we will, is the Latino market. We have not gotten to them yet. But before we open our doors, I promise you they will. We're also working with the people who organize, any people here come to Philadelphia for the Trans Health Conference every year, which is the largest trans health conference in the world. Those people who help organize that, which is Mazzoni Center, are working with us on making sure that we have trans people in our building.
Just a bit of a follow-up to that. Have any of you had difficulties if you are going to reach out, say, specifically having services that are going to be inclusive for undocumented elders, for example? What does that mean for public funding? Have any of you sort of had to look into that?
Yes. For us, HUD will not let us at the moment take undocumented. But on the other hand, I don't have a picture, you all have that brochure, I believe, in front of you of what our building looks like. If you'll notice on the first floor, that is commercial space. It is not used at the moment. That will probably become for nonprofit use. We will be doing lots of programs there. I would be absolutely shocked if we did not do programs pertaining to seniors who are undocumented. And if HUD eases that law a little, maybe even have residents.
Sure, please.
Great, please correct me.
It's incorrect about not being able to house active users in HUD housing. AIDS housing providers across the country have been doing it for almost
Undocumented?
drug users. You said that if somebody was using drugs, you couldn't use
with low-income housing credits, if you're convicted.
There's other, look, I've run AIDS housing for 21 years. And I think we have to be really careful in our community that we don't criminalize drug use like the rest of the world. Sorry.
Are you specifically talking about low-income tax credits? Well, that's the one I'm talking
Made
about.
a broad statement.
Yeah.
And I would hope that those of us who have dealt with oppression wouldn't criminalize drug use. Drug use, drug use is an illness. The AIDS community has housed active users from the beginning of time. Elderly people use drugs, whether it's meth or coke or heroin or pot. And I think we want to become advocates that people have a right to live in permanent housing, if they're elderly and they're still using. We use a harm reduction approach. So I think one of the things I was going to say before is I think, a natural ally for all of you is the AIDS community, because we've been doing this forever. So I just want to say that we do house people who are using drugs. I mean, the assistant secretary to... oh, go ahead, raid our housing. But it's an important...
I was not going to mention that.
Well, you know what? But this is what activism is about. So, well, you know what? We don't go in the closet about drug use either. I think it's really important because we're then, stereotyping people who, like me, are going to be, elderly soon. I mean, people do use drugs. And I think it's about harm reduction. I think it's about support. But I think we have to be really careful that we're not, we're going to throw those folks out. So that's all I needed to say.
Yes, please. Yeah, I'll come up and then you can come.
My question is a simple one. And it's for Catherine. Okay. Catherine, you were saying that you guys went to the faith communities. Mm-hmm. And so I'm two parts. Were they welcoming and affirming faith communities, or were they mainstream not welcoming?
That's a great question. Thanks, Imani. Originally, they were, the first round of partners were those that invited us in. So they were the LGBT affirming faith-based partners. The second round were people that we met, were faith-based communities that were part of larger neighborhood collectives. And what we learned from around some of those churches were that our constituents would say to us, I go to St. X's down the block and I'm in the choir. Everyone knows I'm a lesbian, but there's no way that I'm going to tell them that because I would not be welcome back. So, when I see you at that council meeting next Thursday, please don't mention that you know me from Sage, and everything will be good. And so our response to that is sometimes, depending on who the constituent is, how about we go in and do a cultural competency training? Or how about we offer to come in and do a pride celebration at St. X's Senior Center? And sometimes that response is yes, and we've had some good positive movement with some of the senior centers that are attached to churches. But in other cases, I think, unfortunately, and this, I know more about Harlem than I do about East Harlem, so I don't want to, and I don't know much about Harlem. What I do know is from the staff at Sage, is that there is a pervasive culture of kind of don't ask, don't tell in the churches that many of the folks who attend those churches don't really want to disrupt. So we kind of exist in a peaceful, weird harmony with them.
Yeah. As part of the Philadelphia Aging Commission 2 weeks ago held a faith-based luncheon. And as a member of the commission representing the LGBT community, I was there. And the woman I was sitting next to was, I hope I get this correct, from St. Thomas Catholic Church in South Philadelphia. She was an African-American woman. And she basically led the services there because the Archdiocese, it seems, has given up on the church. And it's mostly an African-American church. And we're talking now about us coming out and doing a workshop about LGBTs in the city of Philadelphia in her church. And we hope to expand that church by church by church by church. We'll keep coming back if they'll have us.
Wait, I'm so sorry, really quick. Sir in the green tie, I think you were next, and then, yes, perfect, thank you.
Thanks. I have a question for Mark. When you got that HUD money, what kind of HUD money? Was it home funds? Was it 202 funds? I'm curious because there are certain restrictions on how you can get HUD money and whether or not HUD can, quote, discriminate or target a given community. And I think it's a big problem for the LGBT community, which ought to be getting specifically targeted for help because it's the most discriminated against community in the country. And yet, at the same time, the law seems to work against that, and you have to compete under the point system to get 202 money, which doesn't help at all.
Well, I want to congratulate, first off, HUD, and I also want to do a shout out to our Pennsylvania Housing Finance Committee, agency, I'm sorry, both of which have taken a policy now, and this is a new policy from HUD over the last 2 years, and if there's a HUD person here, and if I'm misquoting this, please do so. But earlier I said that the term is LGBT friendly. That now is a term that allows you to apply for almost any HUD funding, whether it's 202s, 201s, 206s, 108s, 106s, you can apply now as long as it's LGBT friendly, which means we cannot discriminate and neither can anyone else.
No, I understood that part,
Yes.
but you said that HUD was specifically helpful
Right.
in getting funds to you.
Correct. When we applied for OHCD money, which is basically HUD money, which is given out city by city, and they each have their own rules and regulations, at that point, we had in our programming LGBT senior affordable housing. Well, that wasn't allowed, and then we went back and discussed with HUD, and that's how HUD came out with the legal terminology, which is now LGBT friendly. Mm-hmm. That's now accepted. So that's for all forms of any kind of HUD funding. And we're really happy that we helped pioneer that, and we're, because quite honestly, that was the holdup. That held our mayor up for a month to give us those funds. And again, our mayor and our Office of Housing and Community Development in Philadelphia have been so strongly supporting this project that, again, another shout out to them.
Well, I know what they've done here today is just terrific.
Yeah. Thank you.
I just have one other quick question, and that is, will there be any, someone from HUD will have to answer this, will there be any 202 money available? I know we're, I think, already in the last cycle, and then I don't know if there's going to be money available in the foreseeable future, and can anybody from HUD answer that?
I don't know if there is someone from HUD who can speak to that more. I mean, I know that HUD is in the same position that a lot of the government is in right now. It's that it's a budget crisis, and trying to make sure that money is allocated for everything is tough. I know it's something they're working. Oh, wonderful! If Assistant Secretary Bostic would like to, may be able to answer this better than I can.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Raphael Bostic.
Yeah, I think this was one for me. Maya's right in the sense that this is a very difficult budget environment. We've been working hard to revise and modernize these programs, 202 and the 11 program, and we believe that we're in a position now really to have this program start back into new construction, at force. So we're fighting with the Hill and negotiating with them to see if we can find a common ground space for that. And I can tell you this is one of Secretary Donovan's biggest things. When he got here, he was like, these programs need to work better because the need's not going to go away. And so once those revisions are done, and I think we've made tremendous progress in that, the next step is really to convince our appropriators on the Hill that this is something that should be at the highest priority. So we're having those conversations, but this is a very, very difficult budget environment. And just so that everybody knows, every line item is being deeply scrutinized. And so it's just hard, but you should know that we are working as hard as we can and fighting as hard as we can to make those funds available for these sorts of activities.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please.
I'd like to add a little gas onto the fire, considering what Regina was saying. Talking about issues and barriers, I have a client, I'm a psychotherapist in private practice. One of my clients is 67 years old, lives in her own apartment, really needs to move into some kind of assisted living desperately, but smokes marijuana every day. And her psychopharmacologist and I have talked about it, and this has helped her cope, whatever you think of it, for so many years, that to ask her, to expect her to stop at this point with physical challenges, cognitive challenges, seems not helpful. And she will not move into assisted living, largely because what she perceives as, and not inaccurately, a loss of privacy. So at this point, her plan is when it reaches the point that she can no longer manage alone at home, she will kill herself. So I just put that out as looking at, talk about harm reduction. I think it's a real conundrum.
Can I ask, what state is she in?
Well, California, so of course you can do almost anything except smoke indoors or outdoors. But I think, in this case, it is the relatively benign drug marijuana as opposed to crystal meth or heroin. But I think it really challenges some assumptions.
It's obviously not an LGBT-specific issue. Oh, absolutely correct. And that's what I was just going to ask. Not only not an LGBT issue, it's an issue that I think HUD and the medical field and providers are going to have to discuss. I don't think it's being handled. My generation, I'm 60 years old, folks. A lot of us did at least inhale at least once, and a lot of us are still continually do that. I agree with you. That is basically a harmless drug. But are we being held back by the laws? I don't know. I think it's an issue that still needs a lot of discussion, and my heart's out to that patient. Really.
So can I just speak to this just for?
Oh, I would love you to get us off the hook on this one.
So we have an obligation to follow the law. And to the extent that the law says this is illegal, we can't look the other way, right? And so I just don't want anyone to leave here with the impression that HUD is contemplating a subversive strategy whereby people can not do things that are legal. And, right, so this is a much broader issue about what's legal under what circumstances, and there are lots of conversations happening all across Washington, across the country, in fact, about how that plays out. So I think we need to keep it in that context, but once that's settled, we'll do what's consistent with the law, but we can't really go beyond that.
If I can just say that from a service provider's angle, it's also a larger conversation, which is, I think, your point, Richard, about personal autonomy and the continuum of care, and how, why does it have to be that in our country today your two choices are you live independently but are in danger, or you live and you can't live the life that you've been leading all along because of rules or regulations. I mean, that's the larger conversation that we need to have, and we're not going to come up with an answer today, but I appreciate you putting it out there for us to think about.
And I'm sorry, we are just about out of time. We have time for about one more comment. And ma'am, in the red, I know, I'm so sorry. I did see you first, but because we're running out of time, can I get somebody who hasn't spoken? Thank you so much. Please.
Thank you. Marcy Edelman. I'm the founder and on the board of Open House in San Francisco. And first of all, I want to thank you for today, all of you speakers, all of you for coming. This has been a historic and meaningful time to be here and share this with you. Listening to you all today, I just wanted to say, it's for those of you out there listening, if you want to build housing or a NORC or deal with the housing issue, it's not only about educating your allies in the city and suburbs where you live, it's also about educating yourself about aging, about LGBT seniors, about death and dying and health and wellness. And not assume that you have all the answers either for yourself or other communities, but to really take in hand what I think really has allowed Open House to be as flexible as it has been, which is to educate, collaborate, and partner. Those are the three abiding principles. So thank you again.
Thank you.
And I just want to thank everyone one more time for coming, our amazing partners at HHS and HUD for wanting to do this and for prioritizing this as an issue. I think what this economy has done it's done a number of things, but one of the things it's done, I think, is really made a lot of people come to terms with the fact that more and more our futures, we're coming to terms with the fact that our futures may not be the futures of our own choosing. And, we're talking about a particularly vulnerable population who's having to confront that reality. It's incredible that we have an administration right now that's that cares and is willing to prioritize this as an issue. Thank you all so much again for coming. Thank you to this amazing panel. And I think I'm introducing Mina or Alex. Okay, yes, I'm bringing Mina back up here.
To know what's next and what the follow-up from this meeting is.
Absolutely. Yeah, what makes sense? Should we?
Well,
There will be policy negotiations coming out of
let's move on to, we have Assistant Secretary Greenlee here, so let's move on and then we can answer that question at the end.
Yes.
So believe it or not, we've come to the end. Thank you to our last panel and our panelists from the last panel. We've had some good discussions, and I am going to introduce Alex Rossetti from AOA, who is going to introduce Assistant Secretary Greenlee.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Alex Rossetti, and I'm Kathy Greenlee's Special Assistant. And so I have the distinct honor today to introduce my boss, and I've never done that before. So I just want to give a little background about Kathy for those of you who don't know her. She's the Assistant Secretary for Aging at the Department of Health and Human Services. She was confirmed by the Senate in June of 2009. And there are a lot of things that I really like about Kathy and working with her. And I'll read a little bit about her from her biography. She is committed to building the capacity of the National Aging Network to better serve older persons, caregivers, and individuals with disabilities so that they can live in the community as they age. It's been a pleasure for me to work with Kathy. It's especially been a pleasure to get insight into the LGBT community. So I just want to thank her for that opportunity and introduce her now. So Kathy.
How did today go? Has it been good? I know I've had the opportunity to visit with several of you, meet you, hello to the rest of you. I wrote things down, but those of you who've seen me, I never read them. And I'm the closer, and the question was the right question. What do we do next? So I just wanted to make a couple of comments or remarks from my perspective with regard to this work. It's a tremendous honor to serve as the Assistant Secretary for Aging, and it was interesting after I was nominated, this was before I was confirmed, a friend of mine back in Lawrence came up and said, "Did you know that the Washington Blade had outed you?" I was like, "Really? Okay, well, that didn't take long." So this was interesting for the aging community. It's like, well, go look this up. You'll find on the internet that this is also something that the LGBT community is quite proud of. So obviously I come at this issue from the field of aging and a deep commitment to seniors, all seniors, but also from my personal commitment to the issues of our community. The role of the Assistant Secretary is quite broad. There are two main responsibilities. One is to run the programs. The Older Americans Act is a great act, a great law, quite visionary when it was passed in 1965 because it was really one of the original home and community-based service laws that we had in this country, and it was always designed to be person-centered. So at base, the programs that we delivered, always, the nutrition programs, the transportation programs, the health programs, the family caregiver programs, should meet our needs. And much of the challenge that we have right now as an LGBT community is to work with the traditional aging service providers to make that real. There have been surveys, and now SAGE has done some of this work, our partners with SAGE and the Resource Center, to do outreach to the traditional aging service network and say, are you ready to serve us? We have seniors, more seniors coming, more of us who've lived, who are out. It's important, and we see this as an administration as an issue of cultural competency that we also take seriously for other diverse communities and do a lot of work with the Diverse Elders Coalition. This is not a homogenous group of seniors joining the ranks of the old in this country, and we need to make sure that all of our services are delivered in a way that are competent. And so we have, those of us who've been doing activism work for decades, we can't stop just because we're old or getting older. We have to continue to work with providers about how to provide these services. But I tell you, we have the best platform in the world in the Older Americans Act because of its approach always as being delivered one person at a time. It's not based on family status or marital status. It's based on you and what are your needs. The other great role at AOA, and this certainly is demonstrated when you read the Older Americans Act, is the policy role of both the agency and the assistant secretary. And it's really in this policy role that you can see demonstrated here, I guess, the collaborative work with HUD. When we deliver services, we also then are impacted by and see the broader experience of aging and the broader needs of the aging community. Two of the most difficult issues that people face as they get older are housing and transportation. And transportation, as a policy issue, is so large it almost frightens me. I mean, it is stunning that we have all kind of linked arms in a philosophical way and say we're going to deliver services to people in the community and we're going to help them be healthy and we're going to have them live a long life and be engaged. And I don't have any idea how they're going to get around. You know, I mean, that this is a really difficult issue, but so is housing. And so our collaboration with HUD is very, very important, but it's broader than just the collaboration between AOA and HUD. HHS has a strong partnership with HUD to look at all housing issues, specifically looking at people with disabilities and people who are aging. People with disabilities have similar issue in terms of transportation, housing, poverty, and how can we partner. So I'm here as the closer to say that this is the opening. I mean, we continue to want to work with HUD on LGBT issues and are doing our best to stay informed and educated and are certainly open to more experiences. I saw, where's Sheila from Triangle Square? Did I see you, Sheila? Sheila, so I went and visited Los Angeles the first part of October. I had a fabulous 4 days and saw everything. I mean, and Gay Day was the first day. And came to see the Gay and Lesbian Resource Center. I think Kathleen's here from the Resource Center. And the work that we were doing in California with LGBT seniors and that you're doing specifically, Sheila, with people in 202 housing LGBT. It just resonated with me, this meeting. And you don't know this, but I called my partner on the way home and said, let's agree not to be poor. I mean, when you're poor and LGBT, and in particular the transgender woman that I met with, I mean, your opportunities and your resources just change. And often that change is not for the better, they shrink. So I think it's important that we continue to talk to HUD about LGBT issues, but also services in other settings. And I know that there are many of the aging groups here who produced a survey, a study came out earlier in the year about long-term care facilities, and at least the perceptions of discrimination by our community. We are committed to working on that issue with CMS. Called CMS immediately. There's things we can do. Residents of nursing homes have rights. We need to enforce those rights. We need to train providers. We need to continue to talk about housing. And for us, that will be across all settings. I continue to believe there's a need for all ranges, from independent to assisted living to skilled nursing to the Alzheimer's unit and hospice. All of these settings have to be accepting to our community. As a part of this work with CMS, I had a chance to view the video Gen Silent that recently I took home and looked at, and it was just compelling. And it kind of brings home, it's kind of you got to get some tissues to watch this, I think, especially when you're seeing the two men and the man providing care for his partner in the nursing home wanting to do something as simple as apply lotion to his hands in a way that was not clinical. And it's important that we be able to be ourselves and be surrounded by our families and our peers. But I think our experience as we age is similar to our experience when we were younger. We need our space, and we need the rest of the space to be accepting. And I think we actually have friends and allies who are with us, who are willing to make those changes, but we need to provide the leadership as we continue to age to help them and to educate them, and also educate the LGBT community that, yes, we are getting older, and that this is success. And we have many issues that we must still confront, including HIV, other issues that our communities have always dealt with and lived with. So we at AOA will partner. We'll partner on the hard issues. We'll partner on senior issues. We'll keep our services aimed in our direction. We also want to be accountable. One of the great opportunities that I've had since I've been here is to chair the LGBT working group for Health and Human Services. And I've been one of the co-chairs now for a couple of years. And we had an interesting meeting with the stakeholders recently, and some of you may have been there, but the stakeholders hold us accountable. They bring us a list, and we have delivered. I'm most proud of this administration. We have delivered many things. And so we had this interesting meeting a couple of months ago where we came to the meeting, and the stakeholders were like, thank you for the CMS guidance to states on Medicaid. Thank you for the Resource Center. Thank you for SAMHSA and HRSA and what they've done at ACF. And then they almost sheepishly said, and here's the next list. And we said, you know, that's what we expect you to do. We appreciate advocacy. The Secretary appreciates advocacy. You need to keep us going. You're our energy and often our motivation to be able to continue. And it's nice to be in a dynamic now where people can say, thank you very much. What else can we do? Because I think that's great progress for us all. So I want to return the conversation. Thank you, Raphael, for putting this together. It's been, I think, from what I can tell, a great day. Someday when I don't have this job, I can stay all day at these kinds of forums. I might tell you that there's many things that I get to work on that I'm absolutely passionate about. And this afternoon I had a chance to speak to a forum at the Institute of Medicine looking at violence prevention, and went with my biggest advocacy voice to talk about elder abuse. That we need to talk about elder abuse in this country, and I do this at every opportunity. So that's why I couldn't be with you earlier. So let's talk about next steps, and we'll keep a list. So thank you all very much.
So thank you, Kathy. You are a true leader for us, and what she said is true. The partnership that we have with HHS is extremely strong, and it's extremely deep. We engage, my office, which is a small office at HUD, engages across the board with people all throughout HHS, because this notion of, you know, we've coined the phrase housing as a vaccine, or housing as health policy, housing policy being health policy, as being extremely real and important. And so we want to make sure that we're linked up with anyone who's working on this stuff, so that we use our resources and our tools to maximum effect. And that's really important for us. And hopefully when you leave here, you'll think of housing as a vaccine, housing as health policy, and tell people, because this is how we start to think differently about what appropriate policy interventions and solutions are. For the LGBT population, certainly, but for everyone, and this is really important. So the next question, and I'm standing between you and a reception, which is the worst place to sit, is what are we doing next? And I will say that when we started thinking about this, the goal was really to have this be the beginning of regular conversation on this issue. So one of the things we're going to do is make sure that we stay in touch with all of you and create opportunities for us to have dialogue and conversations, not necessarily everyone in a room together, but taking advantage of technologies, which I still don't know how to use in the day that we've been here, to leverage that and make that real. The second thing is to really chronicle what has been said today, to understand what issues have been raised up, to make clear sort of which things are resolved, which things are outstanding, which things have multiple dimensions that require perhaps working groups or task forces to tackle and address, with a strategy to action. At the end of the day, what we're trying to do is act and make a difference and really be ahead of a policy rather than chasing it after one is running away from us, which is typically how things happen in Washington. So this is actually remarkable on many fronts. That would be one of them. So I'm hopeful that, and my staff knows how I am, I'm pushy on these things, that we will do the summary, make sure all of you have it, we'll identify outstanding issues, some potential action items, and then start to work towards an approach for working through this. There have been a number of conversations that I've had today about, well, when are we doing this again? When's the next one? And I think that that's something that we should also be thinking about. How do we institutionalize this? Maybe that's not the right word, but have this be something that happens on a regular basis so that we're not surprised that when you get the email, but rather we're expecting it and we come with lists of things to do and talk about. That's really how we start to sort of energize this issue in this community and how we really start to make a difference. So, and one thing to think about, when I was in Portland, Maya said we'll host. I was in San Diego. They said they'd host. We may think about, is Washington the right venue? Do we start to take this to other places? Maybe when Mark's done, we go to Philadelphia and do this at their property. But think about how we create something that's real and lasting and enduring, because ultimately that's where we have to get to. So thank you all of you, for your contributions here, for your hard work. This is the culmination of a long journey, and it's the beginning of another journey, which is exactly what you want these things to do. I was excited when I learned this was going to be on the calendar. We were actually going to do it, and to just look out and see that it's actually been done is just incredibly gratifying. So thank you all, and I guess we will wrap up here, and hopefully I will see you all in the next couple of hours and in the years moving forward as we work to make things good for our LGBT seniors. So thank you all.